So the other week, we discussed Governor Rick Scott of Florida banning environmental officials from using the term climate change. That's such an amazing story, I can't get over it. I mean, if you don't believe in it and you're convinced in your belief that it's not real, why would you have to ban people from saying it? I mean, so I'm a non-believer. I don't believe in any particular religion. Would I ban people from being Christian or being Muslim or being anything else? Of course not. Why? Because I'm not an insecure little punk bitch. I believe what I believe is true, and I'm not going to force what I believe onto you. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. But their belief is so frail, and it's so unintelligent and not backed up by anything that they're like, just ban the word. You're not allowed to discuss climate change if you're an environmental government official in Florida. It's crazy. So today, we now have an update to this story. We have some video from a public hearing in Florida where Democrats gleefully mocked this policy. And boy, is it delicious.
Mr. Coons, I have just a couple. You were in D.C. Last time when we went through this particular issue, and as you said, these are federal funds. Are you familiar with the new procedures that FEMA issued just this week dealing with climate change and the fact that they're going to be requesting or demanding that states have a climate change plan before they're going to issue some of these preparedness dollars?
I am.
All right, is that going to affect these monies at all?
It will not.
Okay.
That one refers to a state's hazard mitigation plan, which is done every 5 years. In the next iterations of them will require to have language to that effect.
What were those words, Mr. Chairman? What were those words you were using?
I used climate change, but I'm suggesting that maybe as a state we use atmospheric reemployment. That might be something that the governor could get behind. So, my worry, obviously, was with these dollars, but in a more general sense, that we as a state have to come up with some sort of plan in order to be able to make sure we keep our preparedness dollars for hurricanes. I'm assuming that is something that you are going to be speaking with the governor about and trying to take up so that we make sure we don't lose our dollars in the future.
Yes, Senator, and our next state mitigation plan is due to the feds in 2018, so we have some time in which to have that conversation.
So even though that takes place, the edict starts kind of in March of 2016, we don't have to...
That's correct. But my understanding is at this point is it will require that future versions of our mitigation plan will be required to have language discussing that issue.
What issue is that?
The issue that you mentioned earlier regarding...
I'm going to turn the chair back over. Well, maybe I shouldn't right now.
You hear that, Rick Scott? They're laughing at you. You're a joke. You're a joke in your own state, you sad, sad human being. Look at you. Look at you. Look at how pathetic you are. They're laughing at your policy. Environmental officials can't say the term climate change. We know it's real. It just happened right here. Refused to say the words climate change. Refused. And the best part of the video by far was the heavy lawmaker who was uncontrollably laughing to the point where he was coughing. He was like, we need to address climate change and pollution just to help that guy out with his lungs. He's got some sort of an issue. No, come on, man. When you look at a guy like Rick Scott, you see everything that's wrong with politics. Because Rick Scott, I mean, the most amazing story about him is he owned a piece of a company that did drug testing. And as he was governor, he pushed for a law which mandated drug testing for welfare recipients. An amazing story of brazen corruption. Voting to put money directly in his pocket. You can't do that. You can't do that. Well, he did it, and he fucking got away with it. And also, when it comes to the issue of climate change, when we talk about South Florida, they should be most concerned about climate change over anywhere else. Because I don't know if you know this, the ground underneath, or I should say the ground that is that makes up South Florida, it's relatively porous. So when the sea level rises, specifically in South Florida, even if you build a seawall there, it ain't gonna do much good. I mean, it might help in some ways, but the fact of the matter is that the ground underneath it already is porous. So when the sea level rises, there's nothing you can do. Some of Florida is just gonna go away. It's not gonna be there anymore. And the state that should be most focused on climate change and most concerned about climate change, they're not. Because it's led by Governor Dumbass, Rick Scott, who's busy voting money into his own pocket with his drug testing scam. And he's busy making rules that are fucking laughable, literally laughable.